She is a filmmaker along with her husband. It is Terri-Lynn Calhagen. How you doing, Terry?
Oh, that was perfect, Sean.
I finally nailed it. I stuck the landing, and it was just me and you. So, anyway, now this is a very interesting project. Now this involves Rashid. How do you say his last name?
It's Rashid Anaba, and he's from a little town in Bolgatanga in West Africa, Ghana.
Yeah, and he is. I've met Rashid, and he's a very interesting guy, and he's having quite a time. He's here now, and that's why we're interviewing Terri-Lynn, talking about a great documentary that she and Tony have been working on. 3 years in the making, filmed over 11 weeks in West Africa. Now, the documentary, you say it depicts the daily struggles of a typical African village and shows how...
Yeah, we went to West Africa actually on a trip that my husband planned for 8 months to go across 3 countries and back to Timbuktu and back on all local transportation with backpacks and no itinerary. And so we rode on cargo ships and bush taxis and just things like that, kind of wild, crazy transportation. And when we got through this little town of Bolgatanga, which not a lot of people visit, it's a very dry town on the border of Burkina Faso, we kind of went through there to see some baskets that we really enjoy being made that we found abandoned at an art store. And through doing this and being in this town, we met Rashid Anaba, who helped us get to a village that nobody really visits to see these baskets being made, and that's kind of how this all unfolded. We as documentary makers and filmmakers, we just normally film everything, and in his mud hut village is where he comes from, which is why it's so special that he's here in America. Saw how they make their food, where they grow their food, where they sleep, where they bury their dead, and then found out how far their water source was, which was 2 miles. And then every March...
2 miles to the nearest water.
Yeah, and they have no shoes, and the kids are doing the work. They're getting up at 5 in the morning, and they're going there a couple times a day to get the water for the village. And then come March, in this area, all the water dries up, all the river beds dry up, and so people are literally digging in these dry water beds for this dirty water just to get a cup. And so we just couldn't live with that, and so we came back to Gold Beach, our home, and through the Rotary and through ourselves, we raised enough money to build one clean water well, and we did that and started the project in 2006 and completed it in 2008. And Rashid is actually here through special permission to help us to promote.
Now, getting back, because you've already dug one well, and I want to, this is all about providing people with water. I want to understand what it did, because we're pitching a cool movie coming up on Sunday night at the Redwood Theater in Brookings, correct?
Yeah, the Redwood Theater has been kind enough to let us kind of take over the theater and show our documentary film for the first time in its entirety of how we came to go to Africa, how we met Rashid, footage of the first well being built.
That's what I was going to ask you, was to show me the impact, or tell me about the impact of once that well was completed and what it meant for those people.
Yeah, that current well right now is in a little village called Gunga, BC, which is where Rashid comes from, and that is giving water to over 3,000 people, animals, and crops. So it's a big deal in their life, and now we've assessed 4 more villages that we've seen for ourselves, and while he's here and then further on once he leaves in February, we're still going to continue our effort to raise money for 4 more wells, a medical clinic, and a school.
Because, I mean, a lot of people, you see this stuff on television, you see the quick commercials, and the point that you guys are making is that you've personally become involved, and there are the pictures of you guys hanging out. I mean, it's, I'm looking at you, you're all made up here, and you guys toughed it out, and I find it amazing that you took that big trek across Africa. That's quite an undertaking. Anyway, I want to get the information out because we've been talking so much. Now, the movie, again, is... now, what's the name of the movie exactly?
It started with Just a Drop, and then the second part of the film is called The Ripple Effect, so it's Just a Drop, The Ripple Effect. It's currently being finished in the editing department, so we figure it's going to be 60 to 90 minutes. We haven't quite finished it yet. We're working hard and heavy on that right now.
Okay.
And it's in Brookings at the Redwood Theater at 4:30 p.m. this Sunday, January 17th. It's $10 per person, and that money will go directly to the next clean water well that we hope to build this March.
All right. And before we leave, I want to throw out the website. It's the World Love Foundation, obviously all one word, .org. theworldlovefoundation.org. And if you missed any of that or you want any information, you can call me here at the station, 247-7211. Terry, anything you'd like to add before we split?
I just want to encourage people to come out and meet Rashid Anaba. He comes straight from a mud hut village to America. Everything is fascinating for him. He's seen a redwood tree for the first time today. And just to meet him will change your life. And I want to thank you, Sean, for having me on the show and helping me get people involved in coming out and seeing our film.
Well, quite all right. And Rashid is definitely, he is worth meeting just on his own merits. Quite an interesting guy and a lot of fun. And if you can get him to, although sometimes he doesn't want to do it, he will dance. He dances quite well.
Oh, he plans on at the theater event doing some songs and
oh, sweet.
Yeah, he'll be doing something for you.
All right. So again, that's Sunday, January 17th, 4:30, Redwood Theater in Brookings. Don't miss out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, more great music coming up right here on 92.7 KGBR.